to the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. I'm here with Velvet Daydream, broadcasting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. What's up, man?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Is it Kaeden? You're the
Kaeden, yes.
Kaeden. What do you play in the band, Kaeden?
I play guitar and I sing.
You are the singer.
Yay. We all sing, though. I sing Easy, I sing on No Eyes, Purple Mountain Majesty.
I got you.
But we're all lead singers. We just take turns.
You guys are in Colorado, is that right?
That's right.
Denver, Colorado, where all of our snow and water comes from.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Not this year. No, we didn't get any.
So did all the guys get the link tonight? I hope.
I think so. We're all running around right now. Ryder's in LA. I think Nick is in Fort Collins doing something. So I think they're hopping on as soon as they can. I've been away in Victor, Colorado this weekend.
Welcome to the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. We're broadcasting out of Las Vegas tonight, everyone. And I have the guitarist with Kaeden. He's the guitarist and the singer. Are you the lead singer?
I am one of the lead singers.
So you have more than one lead singer. That's cool.
Yes. Yeah, we're like co-lead singers, I would say. We each take turns on different songs.
That is very cool. And I can't wait for the other guys to join in, but I want to thank you, Kaeden, for joining the show tonight. We got an audience back there. And I have some of your music lined up. Yeah, can you hear that?
Sure did.
I didn't get a chance to do a sound check. I usually do a sound check, about 15 minutes ahead of time.
Gotcha.
But we're doing the sound. It's kind of like doing a live gig and showing up late and doing the sound check. Anyway, the Velvet Daydream, and I had a little intro. You guys sound great, by the way.
Thanks, man.
I've been checking you guys out. I had an interview the other day with the Jailer. You ever heard of Jailer?
Yeah, English guys, aren't they?
Yeah, they're from the UK.
Yeah, they're young guys too.
Yeah, and you guys back to back are great interviews because both of you are reminiscent of the 70s.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of more like the Doors and Led Zeppelin, and they're more like Led Zeppelin and I don't know, just a little bit more Led Zeppelin. And then you guys were a little bit more Doors type, you know.
Yeah, I could see that. James is their singer, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
James.
He's got that Robert Plant.
Bartholomew, I think it is. And then my interview was with the guitar player. That was Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Tyler Aerosmith was his name.
Tyler Aerosmith?
That's his last name.
Wow. How's it spelled?
Arrowsmith.
Very cool.
Like you would, like it sounds, not like the band Aerosmith.
Yep. Makes sense.
But you guys are bringing back the classic rock, man, and chock full of retro 70s inspired style. And Kaeden Keys, guitar and vocals. It says Kaeden Keys. Is that your last name?
Kaeden Keys, that's me.
I like that. It's easy. We got Ryder King on the guitar and vocals. And this is going to be a tongue twister. Jude, band still?
You got it, band still.
Oh, I nailed it. Bass and vocals, and Nick Schwartz on drums and vocals. So you all sing. Great. And you're restoring a style of music that has been dwindling over the past 30 years. And I can agree with that. It really has. All this manufactured crap that's coming in and all this new, it's not real, man. It's not like the old authentic 70s grit, man,
No way. And I agree. I think there's something that's been lost over the last 30 years. And what it is, I can't quite place it. But I know when I listen to music from the 90s and before, sounds, comes across way different than anything today.
I think what we're missing is great songwriting and great bands and complete bands, not just one artist, manufacturing music,
I would agree.
You know what I'm saying? When you have a whole band together, it's a little bit more authentic because you have all of the players in the same room, opposed to somebody reaching out on the internet and grabbing an instrument or manufactured samples or some AI stuff and then bringing it into the song. It loses the authenticity. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely. I'd agree with that.
it's nice being in the room with two or three or four other guys jamming good old rock and roll and just feeling it and playing it, and that is lost in today's music, some of it.
Yes. Oh, no doubt. I don't think there's enough of that same feeling of being in the room with other people and collaborating in that sense, especially for rock and roll. I know there's a lot of songwriters that like to get together with other groups and make something happen, but I think when you have that element with rock, it's very special and very unique.
Absolutely. And I think that's what we're missing today in today's music. And it's nice to see you young guys bringing back the music I grew up with, right? I mean, I grew up with the Doors, Jimi Hendrix, Jefferson Airplane, Janis Joplin. When we go way back, B.B. King, Eric Clapton, we go back to the old blues, players and some of the great musicians, Buddy Guy, Louis Bellson. We go back, and then now we have all the new players. But I kind of grew up in that era, so you guys are bringing that back. And there's young kids growing up today that think it's all brand new again. It's like wow, this is great music. Led Zeppelin, wow, who are they? They don't know who they really are and where they came from. It's kind of funny. And maybe their parents, played it for them when they were growing up. And they're like, yeah, Dad, this music is so cool. And it's the same conversation I had with Tyler 2 days ago, because I did a pre-record with them in the UK. And it was kind of funny because I'm having the same conversation today with you. It's kind of funny.
Hey, I think there's something to be said there. I think everyone's feeling it, or at least more people are feeling it.
There's nothing wrong with it. Hey, Jude's logging in right now.
Perfect.
Here he comes. We had a little rough start tonight. Hey, Jude, what's happening, man?
Hey, nothing much. How you doing?
Good, bro. What's happening? How are you?
Good. I just celebrated my 22nd.
Happy birthday!
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you say 22nd birthday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Another youngster, man. That's awesome. 22. So is it kind of like when you turn 21 or is it a little different?
It's a little less exciting. But,
you don't have to break into the bars with a fake ID, when you turn 21.
I always ask them if they want to see my fake, but they never do.
No, right?
They never see the fake. Well, Jude, welcome to the show. And let's see, I know I got you on my list here. I just announced the band. Jude, you're the bass player and the vocals.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. We were just talking about the retro, the 70s style of music coming back today. And I don't know if it's replacing what's going on now, but it's bringing back the nostalgia of rock and roll and music, which I think is great, by the way, and especially coming from a 22-year-old. That's pretty cool, because it tells me that we did grow up with great music, and that's why you're playing it. That's why you're playing that genre of music. It was so good that for generations to come, you're going to keep playing it and writing songs around that genre and bringing it to original music. So that's pretty cool. So you're out there in Colorado, Denver, Colorado as well?
Yes, sir.
And how do I pronounce your last name? I did it earlier and I got lucky. Planisfield?
Yeah, so you got like two words. You got fan and you got steel. And then put an EN in there. Fan and steel.
Fan and steel.
Yes, sir.
You made it easy. Fan and steel. I like it. Because there's another letter in there just kind of I got it. Anyway, Fan and Steel. That's a cool name, man. I've never heard that in my entire life, which is a good thing.
Hey, right on.
Bass and vocals. So we got Nick Schwartz, who's on the drums, and he might be coming in tonight. Do we know?
Hoping so. He's MIA at the moment, but
that's okay. That's okay. And I apologize for the link. I sent out the link about a week ago, and sometimes my software changes the link, and I have to go back and refresh the link, and it sometimes changes, which it really shouldn't change, but it did. And so I apologize for that. And so I sent out a brand new one, like at 6:01. So if anybody's wondering why we started late tonight, that's why. It's my fault. Sorry about that. And I want to thank you guys for showing up tonight, too, because it's going to be a great show. I got some music. I saw a video up on YouTube of you guys. It's pretty cool. And I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs. Now, tell me a little bit about who's best to answer this question. When was the band officially started, and are you guys the original members?
We are all original members, and we for real started in 2023 when Jude joined. So beforehand, we were kind of like a three-piece, not by choice. We just couldn't find a bass player. And from 2020 to 2023, we did not have a bass player. We did a handful of shows that we didn't even sing at. No bass, just two guitars and drums, no vocals, playing the local bowling alley. And then eventually when we found Jude, that's when the band really started.
Yeah, by the time I tried out for these guys, I think they were beyond ready to take it serious, man. I remember I was like 18 when I joined this band, and there was about like a 6-week window between me first trying out and us being in the studio recording the entirety of our first album. It was a crazy ramp, but I mean, we never looked back, man.
So Jude, you kind of kicked it off for the band when you came in.
I guess it was a bit of a missing link thing.
You were the missing link. Is that you in the picture behind me? The guy on the right?
Yes, sir.
Good looking guy. You haven't changed much. Your hair's longer.
Yeah, a little bit. You got them locks going.
There you go. Looking good. You guys got a great look. You got a great sound, and I'm glad you guys are doing what you're doing. You're bringing it back, and you guys got some great music. I've got a YouTube video that I'm going to play, and I'm kind of waiting for the other guys. If they show up, if they don't, that's fine. And I just did an interview with Jailer 2 days ago out in the UK.
Ooh.
And I interviewed the guitar player, Tyler Aerosmith. And it was a fun interview, man. It was very reminiscent and similar to tonight's interview because you guys are coming from that same era and Led Zeppelin influenced. And I hear a little bit of Doors influence in there, which is cool. And it's all your music. It's just bringing back that nostalgia, that style of music that I think everyone loves. And I have a very not that older. My demographics are a little older audience, a little older crowd. So, I have a lot of it goes all the way back to the teens, all the way to 65 years old, 70. I got a pretty old audience out there that listens to a lot of that stuff. So they're digging the show tonight, and they're going to dig the other show because we're talking about the music we all grew up with. It's kind of cool. So tell me, I'm going to pick on you guys individually and try to get, how did you get started in music? And I'm going to start with Kaeden up the top. Kaeden, give me a little rundown on why, and how young were you when you started, and were your parents supportive of your endeavors in music? And then take me all the way to when you started playing rock and roll and got this band together.
Well, I would say my parents were really supportive from the start. I started as a drummer when I was 10, and I absolutely hated it. Quit drumming at like 11. Renounced music until I was about 16 and started playing because a girl I liked was into music. And then from then on, my parents were very supportive of me picking up the guitar again.
Okay.
And when I first joined the band, they thought it was great. Thankfully, they've always been by my side for that. They think it's awesome what we do.
I think it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I think it's great that the parents support whatever it is you want to do, and this show's all about that. And the reason I asked that question is because some guys are, no way, my parents hated music and they did not want me to play music because, they wanted me to get a job and all that. That was more like when I grew up. And so kind of tell me when your first rock band, how'd you get started?
Well, we got started because Nick, our drummer, has a mutual friend with us. And this is like 2 weeks before COVID happened.
Oh, man.
So this mutual friend of ours is talking with Nick and says, hey, I know this guitar player. He's kind of cool. Maybe you guys should check him out sometime. And at the same time, they were looking for another guitar player. So Nick reached out to me. We set up our first rehearsal the week of COVID in Ryder's mom's garage. We were all distanced apart with our amps in our respective areas and stuff. And that was my first rock and roll band. We were called Hemlock at the time.
Hemlock. Holy crap.
Hemlock, yeah. So this is my first band.
So that's pretty cool. This is your first band. And it seems like, and it's a success. You guys are on your way. That's great.
We're working hard for sure.
That's cool. Yeah. And what about you, Jude? How'd you get started and when?
Yeah, so I mean, my parents were relatively musically inclined, played in the local high school, whatever. Um, and so I started playing piano when I was, 8, 9. And my lessons teacher was a real, I guess you call him a Nazi about it, real like classically trained. And because of that, I hated it. And I never got good at piano. Well, roll around a couple more years. I'm in like the 6th grade in Oklahoma, and like band was a huge influence out there. The
Right.
marching band and stuff. So I picked up trombone, and I played it, and I loved it. And I started playing jazz, um, and I still play jazz trombone. Not
That's
as much
pretty cool.
as
That's pretty cool, man. Jazz is tough to play. It's tough.
oh,
Tough.
it's so much fun. It's all about faking it. So I learned how to fake things pretty well through that, and then I had a crush on this bass player, so I picked up bass, and it's my favorite instrument in the world. I love playing bass. And so I
What
had
kind
this
of bass?
buddy.
What kind of bass do you play? I'm just have to ask.
Oh, I don't have it in the room. I play a Squire P bass.
Squire P
It's
bass. Is it fretless or is that frets?
Oh, it has frets. It is an immaculate bass. It's the first string, and my second string bass is a Fender Deluxe PJ. The Squire is just I love that thing. And then I have a D'Angelico hollow body with some those old flat pickups in it. It has a great sound, but it's too fragile to take on the road.
And so is bass the only instrument you play? Now you mentioned some other instruments there.
Yeah, I play trombone. We all sing. I play piano when I can. And
do you write? Do you write music on the piano at all? Do you write?
Yeah, it really depends. I think I do the bulk of my writing on acoustic guitar.
Okay, yeah,
and bass. Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, then my first band was I had this friend in high school who wanted to play in this emo band that he'd written music for, and so I played bass for him. I won this battle of the bands, and then these guys saw me in the promotional artwork and wanted to do the same battle of the bands the next year, and then bing bang boom, Velvet Daydream.
That is so cool. So it just kind of fell in place, it sounds like. And are you guys all friends prior to the band? Were you guys already friends, or did you guys hire?
Ryder and Nick were. They've known each other since kindergarten. They have the same birthday. It goes way back, way deep. But as far as Jude and I, we met in high school. We went to different high schools, so we didn't know each other before the band, but we kind of became friends through it.
That is very cool. Now you guys have a nice little video. I saw it's getting quite a few views up there on YouTube, and it was "Love," Velvet Daydream. And one of your better songs, or is it one of your more popular songs? Or give me a little synopsis on the song "Love."
I'd say that's our most popular song at the moment. We did that video up on YouTube at Doghouse Music in Lafayette, and they've always been big supporters of the bands. They're a great studio rehearsal space. And really that song came to be because our other guitar player, Ryder, he was feeling some kind of way. He could tell you better than I could, but just got to love yourself. Don't live for nobody else.
I like that. And if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. And you're not going to be any good, to anybody else if you're not okay with yourself. You got to love yourself. I think the Beatles wrote a song around that.
That's right.
I'm going to play the video, and it's on YouTube. It's called "Love" by Velvet Daydream. And everybody turn it up. I've got it all queued up right now. So let's give it a listen. Here we go.
Like
Hey, that was great, guys. That song sounded awesome. And do you ever get like you sound a little bit like the Doors? Has anyone ever said that?
We get that time to time.
I mean, it's like a reincarnation going on there, man. Your voice, a little bit of Jim Morrison. I mean, you really got a great voice, you know.
Right.
And I love it.
We're inspired. We try not to step on the Doors' toes too much, but
well, that's okay. You're bringing back that awesome nostalgia, and it's just reminiscent of the Doors. But I don't want to put you in the same room with them because you are your own band, and you guys are original, and you have a awesome sound. And Jude, what do you think?
Man, that song was so fun to record, both in the studio and during that recording session for that video. We had a buddy of ours come through, and we just tried everything in the book, and we got some fun shots out of that. I remember recording that bridge section in Love. We originally had a completely different idea for how we were going to do that, and it had like almost like a garage rock, like Foo Fighters feel.
Yeah,
we're like, man, we got to slow this down somehow, and we did our best impression of a blues rock band. And you know, I hear how people hear the Doors, but
you guys have a very original sound. And I want to go back to your latest release. It says up on your website, your latest release is Smoke and Mirrors.
That's right.
And who wants to talk about that? Is that an album, Kaeden?
Yeah, that's our latest second full-length album.
That's your second? Okay.
Yes, it's our second album. For us, we kind of feel like it's our first album. Our actual first album is self-titled, The Velvet Daydream, and we put that out pretty much right as we got out of high school. So we were still learning what we were doing.
Oh, okay.
There's some stuff that's a little raw on there, if you will, but we feel like Smoke and Mirrors better captures our spirit, our musicianship a little more, and then really the direction of what our ear is drawn to and how we like to produce.
I like the name of that, Smoke and Mirrors. That's just a great name.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, who came up with the name Velvet Daydream? Who came up with that?
Velvet Daydream was Nick's idea. It came to him in a dream.
In a dream.
Yeah, funnily enough.
You know, I put on my, I usually wear red, black, green, and I put on my bandana tonight to reflect Velvet Daydream. Is it kind of groovy? I mean, you know,
I think that's groovy. That's groovy,
baby.
I've never worn it before. I went in my drawing and went, this is perfect for the show. It's kind of groovy. You guys are groovy. It's very cool. And now it says live videos. You guys have a few videos out on your press release you had put out. And on the press release, it has live videos, Casino, Lemonade, and then Crowd Work. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think that's just a clip of when we got the crowd a little riled up.
Got it. Press, okay. And this is more of a press release. So and I have your bio in front of me, so I have a little bit of information. Let me see here. The band opened recorded the album 1/2 inch tape. Do you guys have vinyl? You have vinyl out? Record?
That's right. Matter of fact.
You got to show it to me there, Jude.
Got it right here.
Nice. And it's available for sale if somebody tonight wants to buy it?
TheVelvetDaydream.com. We'll ship it right to your door.
Did you say VelvetDaydream.com?
TheVelvetDaydream.com.
Okay, everybody, The Velvet Daydream, as it's spelled, .com. Go up there and get that album. You guys sign in the albums before you send them out?
We do. We at least sign the inner sleeve. We have a lyric sheet on there that's signed by all of us. And then if we're all around before it gets shipped off, we sign the cover as well. But each one of them we try to sign beforehand.
That's pretty cool. So you get an autographed copy if you log in tonight and buy the album. And how many songs are on that album, by the way? Is that a full-length album? You got, 10 songs or so?
It's a full length. I want to say
11. It's 10.
That's right. 10.
10, okay.
10.
Yeah.
And it says Velvet Daydream, modern classic, psychedelic rock, based in Denver, Colorado, for those of you who just chimed in, known for the 1970s aesthetic, complete with bell-bottom jeans, long hair, and analog warmth. I like that sound. Analog warmth. You don't hear that a lot. And the young four-piece band brings a fresh, energetic twist to the vintage rock and soul. Who wrote that? Jude, did you write that? Rock and soul?
That must have been Ryder.
And you guys all sing. Now, I was talking to Kaeden earlier. You said you guys all sing. And
that's right.
And there's more than one lead singer. Now, Jude, do you do any lead singing?
Yeah, I took lead on Lemonade on this album. Generally, we when we write songs, we let whoever either wrote it or fits it best take lead.
Got it. Well, that's pretty cool because not a lot of bands have multiple lead singers, and for good reason because not everybody can sing. And so by having multiple lead singers in the band, you guys are extremely talented. You not only play an instrument, but you also can sing lead, which is very cool. I've been in 3 pretty big rock bands. I was the lead singer for Danger back in 1979 through the mid 80s, and played with Poison. And my friend Tom is in Motley Crue, and I have a lot of friends. We're all the same age in that whole era. And me and Tom went to school together. Tommy Lee, if you know him from Motley Crue, and we all just played in different bands at the time. And I was playing in Hollywood before Tom was, and then I was in the band Danger. And at that time, it was the hair band era. Do you remember the hair band era? Did you guys ever? I mean, you're probably kind of too young for that, but do you remember? Have you seen like Warren?
Oh yeah, we know about the hair band era.
Okay.
I grew up on Queensryche. Yeah.
There you go. And me and Jeff Tate had the same vocal coach. I'm the lead singer, so me and Jeff Tate had the same vocal teacher or coach. And so it was a great time for rock and roll. And the Doors played through Hollywood. They came through the Gazaris and the Roxy and the Whiskey and all that. Have you guys been out to LA to play any gigs?
Our first show in LA ever is going to be June 4th at the Rainbow.
No shit, the Rainbow.
Yes, it's coming up. It's in a week or two.
Does the Rainbow have
today? In
2 weeks? You're going to be at the Rainbow. And when I was playing, they didn't have a stage. They just had pizza and a restaurant.
It might still be that way. I'm not sure.
Might be playing out in the restaurant. No, they must have a stage now because you're not the first person to tell me that they're playing the Rainbow.
There you go. Oh, hopefully so.
But have you been to LA before just to cruise around and check it out?
Ryder's there right now. He's checking out with Mickey Mouse and stuff. I went as a kid. I was maybe in the 3rd grade, so I haven't really been.
Okay, so you haven't played any music down there yet?
No.
So this will be a lot of fun for you then.
Oh yeah, super looking forward to this.
Yeah, I was interviewing a band a while back, and I said, what is the biggest thing you've ever done or want to do in music? And he said, I want to play at the Whiskey in Hollywood. I've never been there. I go, is that the biggest thing you want to do? He goes, yeah. And I go, well, there's big stadium gigs out there you could play. And he goes, no, I want to play the Whiskey, man. I want to play the Whiskey. And let me tell you, I've played the Roxy, the Whiskey, Gazaris, the Starwood, all of the places down there for many, many years. That was our home base. And I got to tell you, all of when the lights come on, they're dirty little clubs. They're just dirty little. There's duct tape all over the floor where wires were all this shit. And then there's a little stairway that goes up to the dressing room. But I've played the Whiskey many, many times under Danger, and the Roxy and Gazaris, which is now another club. And I never played the Rainbow, but I did go there and have pizza. And I didn't see a stage. I think there's something in the back. There's like pool tables. I'm not sure. They've changed. But do you guys know anything about the gig? Have you been promoting it?
Yes, we've been promoting it. It's a free event. So if anyone's from the LA area, we're going to be playing for free. It's going to be a late one. I think we go on at like midnight. So
wow.
Have a Red Bull at the bar. We eat some good.
So Velvet Daydream is going to be at the Rainbow down on Sunset Boulevard. Is that Hollywood or Sunset?
That's Sunset. So I guess West Hollywood?
Yeah. That's more down Troubadour. Have you ever been the Troubadour? Okay. I guess that is West. Yeah, that would be West Hollywood, I guess. We got Holly. Holly Rocks is the manager. She hooked me up with you guys. She's on chat tonight, by the way, if you want to say hi to Holly. She's an A&R rep for Iron Gate Records.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Ollie?
And we got Lois from Almost Famous Production. She's on the chat tonight. She's running she's monitoring the chat room tonight. Say hi to Lois. She's out there.
Thank you for monitoring. Very much appreciated.
And so I don't know if you guys know. And now we have call-ins on the show, and people can call into the show, and I'll give out the number if they want to call and talk to you guys live. And I just give them the phone number, and they give a call in. So if anybody has a pen and paper out there, I think I remember the phone number by heart now. Write this down. Phone number is in the United States, and you can call 669 is the area code, 669-444-9171. 669-444-9171. And the meeting ID is 702-927-2226. 702-927-2226. And that's your secret code to get into the chat. So give a call in and talk with Kaeden and Jude. That's who I got on. And the other guys might chime in later tonight as well. Not sure yet. But that would be cool if they come in.
We'll have the whole party.
Yeah. I've had 5-6 people on the screen before. Sometimes they're all in the same room. So it's like, okay, you on the couch, you got to come up to the front,
That's how we like to do it normally, like to be in the big old family room together.
Well, tell me how often, speaking of that, how often do you guys rehearse? And take me back to the beginning, or right now, are you guys rehearsing for this concert coming up at the Rainbow?
We usually do twice a week, every week.
Okay.
And it's usually about a 12-hour day each time. Not all of it is music, but we get together at noon, and then I usually end up getting back at like 12:30 in the morning. And we've been doing that pretty much since our last couple of years of high school, just to really make sure that we're up to speed and what we're playing is to the best of our ability. So we'll definitely be rehearsing before we go. We have a couple people out of town this week. I think next week we'll be back to our normal schedule.
Good. And I want to talk about this project, when it began. And I was just looking over. It says the project began as a high school jam session before the full lineup solidified, drawing heavy inspiration from legends like, of course, Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, and the Beatles. Did you guys go to high school together?
Nick and Ryder both did. They went to the same high school, and then Jude and I went to different high schools.
Okay, so you guys did go to high school together in separate.
Yeah, a couple of us did.
Gotcha. And was the band, when you first got in the band, was it already like playing gigs and already taken off? And Kaeden, I'll ask you that. When you got in the band, were you guys already doing gigs, or did it start from scratch?
It started from scratch. By the time Jude came in, that's when we were doing some gigs. We were doing 2 guitars, drums, no vocals, just playing the local bowling alleys.
Gotcha.
It's not very impressive at the time.
Now earlier you talked about a song called Lemonade. And I'm just curious. And I have it. I think I have it. I have it here in front of me. Very cool song. I love drum. I'm a drummer too, so let me see if I can share this. Can you hear it? Lemonade. It's groovy, man. That bass guitar. There's Lemonade.
You're so damn sweet, babe. I need a sip of you. The summer heat is coming down, so tell me what's a man to do? Oh, you love lemonade. She's my name. She keeps me up at night. She keeps me on my knees. Lemonade, lemonade, say lemonade, say lemonade, oh, lemonade, alright.
See, that's what we're missing that in today's music. We're missing that.
Definitely.
I could see you guys, if you could go back in time, I could see you guys playing Woodstock. Just up there with Janis Joplin, Jefferson Airplane, Jimi Hendrix, and the psychedelic. If you came back, and here's a good question for you guys, and I've never asked this to anybody, I just thought about it. If you had to come back, be reincarnated as anyone, a famous musician, maybe a singer, guitar player, whatever, who would you come back as? And Kaeden, I'm going to ask you that.
George Harrison. George Harrison, all the way.
Oh my God, what a legend!
Yeah,
what a legend.
It's great. Favorite Beatle.
I didn't expect George Harrison, but great choice.
Or David Gilmour. He's still around, so I feel like that would be blasphemous to say.
Yeah, I just saw an interview with David Gilmour. Pink Floyd, man, what a legend he is.
Legendary.
How about you, Jude? Who would you come back as if you had to come back? And
man, that's a tough question. That's a really good question.
I've never asked it. I'm putting it on my list.
Larry Graham. He was with Sly and the Family Stone and
Sly and the Famous, okay.
And Graham Central Station.
I thought you said Lou Graham for a minute there. Larry Graham. Okay, that is pretty cool, man. I don't even know who I would want to come back as. Maybe Robert Plant.
That'd be a good choice.
There's so many great musicians. I've never really had one in particular, But Lemonade, man, great song, guys. You knocked it out of the park on that one. And And when was that song written? Was it written before you guys got in the band, or you guys wrote it?
We wrote that as a band. That must have been almost 2 years ago now. We'd run into these lemonade salesmen in Boulder, and they wanted us to write a jingle. And pretty much that was the first thing we came up with. Then we were like, screw you guys, we're going to make this into a crazy jam. And now it is what it is.
You got some crazy names in there. Poppy Girl. I see Poppy Girl. And Love, of course. And Easy. This is Poppy Girl. This one gets moving. Nice. Listen to those backups, guys. That's incredible. Now I hear the vocals, you guys. That's amazing. I don't think I've heard a band with those backups like that in a long time.
Well, thank you.
And and it fits. It fits. In like a heavy metal band or hard rock, sometimes they don't fit. But
a big influence.
And in your voice, it's got some grit. You guys. We're not going to give credit to AI for those vocals. That's you guys. Damn.
No AI here.
No AI. It's really taken over. It's taken over the music business out there. These artists that can't play guitar are using AI. They don't know how to play anything, and they're using AI to create singles and albums. But that's a whole nother conversation there. But you guys. Great music. In fact, that album, I might have to pick up that album, just throw it in my collection. And how is it going with the band as far as album sales and popularity and the numbers? I looked a little bit at your YouTube and Spotify. Are you guys taking off right now? Are things going good?
I think it's a very smooth sail right now. We had a big old spike right when the album came out, and now we're just cruising along and trying to make a solid group of fans to call our family.
There you go. Bring it in. Bring it in.
That's right.
And I'm looking at your YouTube channel. You guys are on your way. You got over 93 videos up there to share with the world. And I see the one we played, Love. And is there a video that you really want to share that's on there that I can play for the audience? Because I could pick one, but I'd rather have you pick one. And all right, everybody, you're with Velvet Daydream, and I'm talking with Kaeden and Jude, and we're going to share a little. They went on a little tour. You might get to see the little behind the scenes from Velvet Daydream. Let's play it.
On the road again.
There you go.
Can you take me to a place I've never been before? But I'd like to know some more. Can you take me?
Well, we officially left the mountains behind, and now we're in what looks like Kansas for about an eternity. So this is our new life with just trains and cars and planes.
We have a new visitor into the show tonight. And Nick, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Sorry about that. You just kind of threw me off. I was in the middle of watching that video, and I'm like, "Oh crap!" And I had to click on, and I clicked it, and I lost everything.
So sorry for joining late.
That's okay. Are you on a phone, Nick?
I am on a phone.
Can you do me a favor and turn it sideways?
Oh, of course, of course.
Landscape shot. There you go. There you go.
Wait a minute. There we go.
Oh man, now you're filling up the screen.
How's that?
Love it. Love it. And Nick, you are the drummer, is that right?
Yes, I am. Drummer, singer, do it all.
Well, I was just talking about your multi-talented band that everyone's a lead singer, and I just heard a song with all the backups just sounded amazing.
Yes.
You guys have some amazing harmonies, and good for good reason. You guys are all lead singers.
Yep, we all sing. We all play different instruments. We all can play each other's instruments pretty decent. We just like to be well versed.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't get a lot of bands where everyone is singing. In fact, it's unlikely that anybody sings except for the lead singer.
Right.
And you guys are pretty amazing. We were listening to some songs. We played the video "Love."
Okay.
For the audience already, just to kind of get you caught up a little bit. And
right.
I've done the personal introduction of Kaeden and Jude, and now it's your turn. So tell me how you got started in music, going all the way back as far as you want to go.
Yeah, it's funny actually. Recently I kind of unlocked a memory in my mind. As you know, the Michael Jackson movie just came out, and I just had this flashback that I haven't thought about in years of my dad just used to play cassettes all the time in his Camaro when I was growing up, and one of them was Thriller. So like hearing Billie Jean and all that stuff just reminded me again where it all came from, like where my whole love of music started. I just riding in the car, listening to cassettes and CDs and listening to the radio, and we listened to a lot of classic rock stations. And my dad's in a band. He's a guitar player, singer. Or he was in a band, I guess I should say. He's a guitar player, singer, so there were always instruments around the house. He wanted a drummer to back him up, for basement jam sessions, and that's how I got started on drums. But I'm versed in guitar, bass, ukulele, harmonica, keys, pretty much you name it. I played saxophone all through high school.
Oh, we got a trombone player and a sax player in the band.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, Nick, since we didn't get a sound check, your volume is right on the edge of being almost too loud. So you got good volume, just naturally speaking. So you don't have to. You must have a great phone. You got an iPhone or something?
Yeah, I do.
How did I know that? They always fill up the screen. But anyway, I was going to ask you, were you raised in a musical family?
Yes, I
and
was.
Sounds like you were. And tell me that story growing up, and then take me right to when this band got started.
Okay, so my family for generations have been musicians. My grandparents, they sang, they played organ. I've had, great relatives that have been in all sorts of different kinds of jazz and folk and whatever bands. And I just started learning because we had instruments around the house, just kept jamming with my dad and his friends. And I kind of said, I should start a band. And Ryder, our other guitar player that's not here with us tonight, he and I have gone to school since we were 5 years old. And we've known each other ever since kindergarten. And one day in middle school, I just found out he was a guitar player and I was playing bass at the time. And we decided to start jamming just for fun and started taking it more serious, and met up with Kaeden in high school, and got Jude at the tail end of high school. And here we are today. But we've always kind of just known we were going to be in a band.
That's pretty cool. And we're with Nick Schwartz with Velvet Daydream. He's the drummer, piano player, and vocalist. And tell me, do you play like a Hammond B3 organ? Do you have like an organ back there?
I don't personally own one, but I have played one on some of our stuff. I've played Hammond organ, Fender Rhodes. I've played, just piano, clavinet, Wurlitzer. We've done little like string stuff, extra little mini horn stuff.
So you are the keyboard player in the band. You play everything.
I'd say we all play keys nowadays. On the first album, I did a lot of the keys, but now we're all pretty well versed in keys. So we all trade off.
What would be a song? I've got like 7 queued up that really showcases your keyboards.
Oh man, one that really showcases my keys.
The reason I ask is I'm a keyboard player.
Okay, gotcha.
And I love keyboards. And I hear it a little bit in the songs, but I have here's the songs I have queued up. Leave You There.
Okay.
Next Time.
Okay.
And Revolver.
Actually, I think most of those songs I think actually don't have keys. A song that we have that's got
Lemonade.
keys.
There's Lemonade, Easy, and Poppy Girl.
I'd say a lot of the stuff on the new album really actually doesn't have as much keys as I thought it did.
Okay.
I'd say a lot of our older stuff had keys, and we just didn't use it as much on the second one. One song that comes to mind about keys would be Velvet Daydream, bit of a mellower, slower one. It's got a lot of droning chords, and it's got some arpeggio piano parts in the pre-choruses. But other than that, honestly, thinking about it now, there's really not a lot of keys. Yeah.
Not a big deal. I was just thinking, because I haven't played all the songs yet, and I have a bunch of them queued up. We played Poppy, just so you know, Poppy Girl. And we played the video, Love.
Yep.
And we played a little clip of Lemonade just to kind of, so we could listen to the song.
Gotcha.
And Revolver we haven't played yet. And Next Time, and then Leave You There. And out of those 3, what song is your favorite?
Ooh.
Revolver?
I'd have to go with Next Time, I think.
Next Time. And when was that song written? Were you in the band when it was put together?
Yes. That song is pretty old, actually. We've had that song for, I don't know, good couple years at least. It just somehow didn't make the first album. It just wasn't ready. And it's just been something we've been sitting on for a really long time, and it was time to put it out.
Let's give it a listen. I got you here.
Somebody's gonna die tonight on the road to him for me. I could be on the next time.
up, man? What's up? What a cool song. What a cool song that is, man.
Thank you.
It gets rocking. It gets rocking. I heard a little bit of like, there was a part in that song that reminded me of the Blues Brothers for some reason. I don't know. But it just gets kicking ass, man. You guys did a nice job on that.
Thank you.
And you know, the first song I listened to was, I think it was Love. Kind of threw me back into more like a reminiscent of the Doors. But the more I listen to your music, you're more like, I hear the Led Zeppelin feel, some of the nostalgic in the transitions and the drum breaks and all that. And the lead guitar is just out of control. Is that you, Kaeden, on the guitar?
That one's Ryder.
Ryder's on guitar on that. Your voice, are you singing on that?
No, that's Nick singing on that one.
I'm the one singing on that one.
Nick, you got a hell of a voice, bro.
Thank you.
What's going on? You're the drummer, and you got a badass voice. What's going on?
Yeah,
there?
it's a constant, workout, both vocally and physically during our live shows when we do songs like that. I don't know. It just came out of me one day. We just decided we all needed to sing, and that's what came out. So
you are a lead singer. You all have a great voice, and those harmonies are just incredible. Now, earlier I asked the question, and the guys kind of referred back to you. It said the project began as a high school jam session, and before the full lineup solidified.
Yes.
And so you were in high school with was it Ryder?
Ryder, yeah. We started all the way back in middle school.
Okay, so tell me how you guys, now take me all the way to when you met Ryder and how you guys got together. And I guess you were good friends before the band started forming.
Yeah, we were friends. We became friends in kindergarten because we had the same birthday. And that's just how 5-year-olds make friends, and we used to hang out. I mean, way before we were even playing music, we were hanging out. We were playing, Hot Wheels and monster trucks and shooting each other with Nerf guns and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We both just on our own picked up a love for music, and we both just started learning instruments around the same time. And he was really the only one I knew in school that also played. So I was like, well, it's a no-brainer. I have to play in a band with this guy. And yeah, for a long time, for many, many years, it was just me and him kind of doing our thing and just trying to figure out how to play and how to be better than each other and how to, work together. And that's really where it started. We just spent a long time screwing around.
And tell me the inspiration, like for Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, in the Beatles and all that. Were you both in unison? Were you both on the same page, or were you into different genres or different styles of music?
I think we're on the same page. We kind of lean in different spots, if there's a web, we can kind of, reach to different points than each other. But I'd say we're both in that same love of that classic rock stuff. He definitely grew up with more of the 60s rock, more of the Beatles and the early Stones and that kind of stuff. My parents were more children of the mid to late 70s into the early 80s. So I was listening to a lot more, Van Halen and Triumph and Cheap Trick and, Journey and Def Leppard and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I was listening to a lot more of that stuff.
Yeah.
But we both kind of found a good middle ground in that mid to late 70s. We're both really into like Van Halen and Kiss and, that Fleetwood Mac stuff and Some Girls era Stones. That kind of stuff is kind of where we really met in the middle.
Well, whose idea was it to stay in that genre and not go out to like Van Halen or Triumph in that more hard rock or heavy metal era?
I think it just naturally happened that way.
Okay.
I think there's always a chance we can. We do play some hard stuff. That song you just played could have easily been a Van Halen song in a way,
Right. Right. Yeah.
But we're always up for anything, really. We just always seem to find that home in that, psychedelic 60s era of rock and roll.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. And I'm glad you guys did that. And I'm glad you guys are bringing it back because we need that. We need to remind a lot of the new generation, this is what music's all about. It's not not a bunch of artificial AI, manufactured music. This is analog. This is authentic, and you guys are bringing that back. And to switch the subject, you guys had some interesting stuff happen with the AI generated music out there.
Yes, we did.
And I think you were on the CBS News in Colorado.
Yes, we were.
And I did watch that news brief, by the way. I did a little bit of research on you guys. I spent a little bit of time. And it says fighting to shut down the AI copycat, denied the trademark request. Can you give me update the audience on what really happened there? Because this is a conversation that I had with Jailer just a couple days ago. I was talking with Tyler Aerosmith and the guitar player for Jailer, and we were talking about AI and all the manufactured music. And we both were kind of in the same in sync on that. Can you give me a little rundown on what exactly happened with that, and how did it reach the news?
Yeah, so we just were, I believe it was a post for a show. Someone had tagged us and they had music over it that we had never heard, wasn't our music, but it said Velvet Daydream. And so we were kind of blown away by this. We looked into it and it looks as if there's just someone out there on the internet making AI bands, and we believe it's tied to that Velvet Sundown band that was getting a bit of traction in the news. I'd say a year ago now, almost. Just AI looking pictures, definitely not real. Things don't look right. The lighting doesn't look right, and they're putting out an album every week. It seems like they can just produce as much music as they want, and they were putting it under the Velvet Daydream, and we were like, well, we gotta squash this. We gotta take care of this. So we applied for a trademark. Luckily, it was open, so we still had the upper hand there. We applied, waited months, got a notification, a envelope or an email or something that said,
it says you got a DM from one of your fans.
Oh yeah, that did happen. We got a DM from one of our fans saying there was some AI stuff going on. And we tried to get it shut down. We got denied at first. Just the jargon that lawyers use is very complicated. And so we luckily had someone in the know kind of help us out. And he read over our documents and got it, squared away and set up in the format they want. And it is currently pending approval, but it has not been denied, and it has been checked. So
I think we're actually approved now. So initially, when we first filed, we were denied because we didn't have sufficient evidence that we were a band. There was no evidence, and they have you submit stuff too. So we sent them our whole discography and all of our social media and everything that proves we're a band. And they saw it and went, "That's not real." So
That's
after
crazy.
that happened,
thankfully
thankfully CBS, they had a lawyer who I think was just a viewer that got in contact with them, and he specializes in trademarks and a little bit of the music business side of things. So
are you guys winning? Are you guys winning
help us out?
You guys are winning the battle, I guess. Winning that battle.
Yes,
I think so.
I was reading a comment from Ryder. He says, I met our drummer in kindergarten, sorry, and said King, and we all happened to be playing all the way through high school, and we're passionate and we love doing it. And he was a little pissed off about this AI thing, the ripping your music off and all that stuff. And how did it get on the news? The ABC News.
We started a GoFundMe to try and raise money for our trademark.
Okay.
And then it just took off. And then we realized it wasn't as expensive as we thought. So we pulled it, and that kind of killed the momentum. But a couple people in our local Denver network saw it and sent it to some people. And next thing we knew, NPR and CBS and a couple other places were reaching out to us and asking what the deal was.
And did it interrupt your Spotify plays at all? Or did people think they were looking for you guys and found the AI stuff?
It did.
Yeah,
there were times where I would walk into stores, and the way we dress, we get asked if we're a band somewhat often. And the owner asked what the band was named. I told him we were from Velvet Daydream, and he thought we were an AI group.
Oh my God.
And that happened quite often,
And
especially.
that's your livelihood, and that's interrupting the process of you guys making money and selling records and all of that.
Exactly.
I can see how, and I read a comment that says Kaeden was in there. It's interrupting his livelihood. It says, I don't have another job that I go to, and this is it. And another band can just pop up with our name somewhere that didn't even write any of their music. And I have this conversation all the time with bands. The fact that somebody could even do that is incredible, for one. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they're plagiarizing and taking your music and your name and just throwing people off. So that's not cool. Is it still happening today? Or is it going away? Are they disappearing?
We are on the.
Still happening.
So oh shit! With our trademark, we're in objections. So at the end of the month, we will have our trademark, and then we can go to Spotify and tell them to kick them the fuck out.
Good.
Till then, we got like 2 weeks. Okay, but yeah, we're almost there.
Awesome. You're winning the fight, and that's good. And because in this day and age, everybody has to watch their back. Nick, give me a little rundown. What do you got? We're going to start heading towards wrapping up pretty soon, and I want to talk to all you guys. What do you have planned for the near future for Velvet Daydream? And any more albums, recordings? Is there anything you want to tell your audience that's coming up?
Well, I think my plan is going to be pretty similar to the rest of these guys, and that's just play as much as we can. We're just trying to tour coast to coast and get to as many cities and to as many people as we physically possibly can. As far as new projects, we've got ideas. We've got ideas of things we want to do. I'm itching to get back into a studio. I think we've got a lot of momentum and a lot of potential ideas that could really be something good. Nothing is solidified yet, but know that the train is still rolling and we're going to get something out soon.
That's pretty awesome. And I think it was Kaeden that was showing us the album, Jude or somebody was showing us the album earlier that you have out. Mm-hmm. And people can go to the velvetdaydream.com.
Yes.
thevelvetdaydream.com as it's spelled. And you can get merchandise, all of them. Do you have a lot of stuff for sale up there, like hats and shirts and stuff?
We've got hats, we've got shirts, we've got tote bags, we've got vinyl records for sale. We've got all sorts of stuff.
That's pretty cool. You guys got your shit together, sounds like.
We try.
We're all self-managed. We do everything ourselves. You're looking at 3/4 of the team, other than Ryder. So we do all the booking, all the everything.
That's awesome. And you guys are independent. You're not on a major label or
That's right.
label? Okay,
no
good.
labels at all.
That's pretty awesome. Being independent is like freedom, and nobody has their hand on your pocketbook. Taking a cut here, taking a cut there. And I always ask bands. I go, "Where's the best place to get your music? Where the money goes into your pocket, not Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Apple, all these guys." And you'd be surprised the response I get from some of these bands. They go, "No, we just get our music on Spotify. We're good."
That's the best to make us look cool to other people on Spotify. Bandcamp is great and Deezer is great.
Right. And this podcast show gets on Deezer. Once I do this will be on Spotify. This will be on iHeartRadio, Pandora.
Tidal too is great.
Tidal, yeah. Yeah, I've heard of Tidal. And we're going to be in 104 countries when this show gets put out. And it's going to be on over 40 different platforms. Podcast platforms. So I was in Australia recently, and they have iHeartRadio, and I couldn't find Pandora, and Pandora's out here. So you kind of got to be on all of them to reach all the countries. You know what I'm saying? And I was out there. I'm like, man, I can't get on Pandora. I have my subscriptions on there, so I had to play iHeartRadio. So just to let you guys know that all the different countries, they have all these different media outlets to play new music, and that where this podcast is going to go is it eventually reaches 104 countries. So your music and everything you say tonight is going to be heard by people in Finland, Brazil, Australia, Germany, overseas, UK, everywhere. So I really appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight, and I'm really honored to meet you guys because you're very talented, extremely talented. and your vocal. It's just amazing that you guys all sing. I think that just blows me away. Because I never had a band that everyone sang. No, like, I'm not singing. I am not singing. So, but Nick, I want to thank you for joining the show, even though you were a little bit late. I appreciate you joining in.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I mean, better late than never. And I got to meet you and got to talk to you. That's great. And Kaeden, thank you very much for being very candid and talking about the band. And Jude, you're awesome, bro. And what happened to your Elton John glasses? You had the Elton John.
I've been fidgeting with those like crazy. Hold on, let me get those back on.
And I want to thank you guys for doing the show tonight. And I have a little outro video planned. And is there anything you want to say to your audience before we depart?
Rock and roll. The world needs more rock and roll.
The world does need more rock and roll. And guys, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight, the Dean Vaughn Music Podcast Show. And we're with the Velvet Daydream. And please go to their website, check them out, and pick a copy of that vinyl up, their new album. And it's thevelvetdaydream.com. And I'm sure they'll be very appreciative that you picked up the album and maybe get some merchandise while you're there. So thank you for watching the show, guys, and good night.